So for the past few days, I've been working on this motions matchup, which I'm pretty excited about. So I made pages that have the motion on it and all the characteristics about that motion. And so basically you go to the TPT store and you get this and you can download it. You cut these out. Now, what I also have loved is that I really did a lot of brainstorming and bouncing ideas back and forth with Chip. And he said if it were him, he would cut out all of these like in one page, and his kids would have to, at first, when they're first starting, they would have this whole block together and try to figure out which motion it goes to, which I thought was a pretty good idea too. So that's one option that you can have. So as your kids advance, you can cut out each of them. And what I was thinking was you could have, like a practice starter, or you could have it, as a practice like ender. They've already did tests and they've done the demonstration, but maybe you want them to do something that's a little more fun and interactive together as a team. So you can cut these out, lay all of them out on the table. So I made one, like I said, for each motion. This is conduct, so there's not as many, right? It's all the required motions. But if you're a beginner, you don't know anything about parliamentary procedure or conduct, like answer key, you'll know that these characteristics go with this motion. But you can cut these out individually and mix them all up and have your kids, your students come together and try to figure out what characteristics go with each motion. So as your students advance even more, I included ones that are not color-coded. So if it's your first few practices, you may want to stick to the color-coded game matchup. But then as your students really get good, you can have them do this, and they're not color-coded. So that's even harder, even more of a challenge. Make it a game, make it fun, give them some candy or something, whoever gets it done first, or finds all their pieces first, something like that. So the other option that Chip and I talked about was you could do this in class. You could actually set up the page like this. So yeah, you have the page that has the motion on it hanging up all around your room, right? And then you cut these out individually and you have them all taped up all over the room, under desks, behind chairs and cabinets, or whatever you have set up. And it's a game. So basically you give them some parameters, you tell them that there's characteristics of these motions all around the room. And I would do it color-coded. Like I taught basic ag for almost 10 years, so I would do it definitely color-coded. And have them go and have a little scavenger hunt around your room and try to find all of the pieces that go with the motion. And yeah, so you can kind of sit back and watch them have fun with a little scavenger hunt. I always taught parliamentary procedure in my basic ag class between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this will be something fun that kind of keeps them busy, interactive, engaging. I made the exact same motion matchup with senior parliamentary procedure as well. So here's some, just some directions on just my thoughts about how to use it. But obviously, don't limit yourself. You can do it however, much better probably than me. But I made senior motion cards as well. So obviously, the Parli Pro, the senior division, has got a lot more motions. But yeah, so that's an option for you if you're doing senior Parli Pro. You can use this in class. You can use it at practice to just better advance their skills of learning the motions and their characteristics, because that's always oral questions. That's always test questions. So there is a resource for you. And again, it's something that you can use as they advance. They can have the non-color coded version. So what really got me thinking about this was my niece, Bailey. She is in 6th grade and is an FFA this year. She did Creed, she did floriculture, and she's now interested in doing conduct. And so I was trying to think of a way that would be fun for her to just introduce her to conduct and learning the motions. And I just think this would be a fun game that her and her teammates could play at practice. So I created this, and then I thought, I need to give this to other people. I have a ton of resources, not just for parliamentary procedure, but like I said, I taught basic ag for 10 years. So my goal is to have new products every week in my Teacher by Teachers or TPT store. So you can always look for something to be coming up in there that hopefully will help you out in the classroom or with CDEs or LDEs, but I'll have some science stuff in there too soon. So like I said last week, my store is very new, so there's not a lot of things in my store, but training with Trisha, because I feel like we're always in training to be better teachers and better people. We're training students as well. So the cards are in there that have the main motions on them. I did one for conduct and for parliamentary procedure. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, that's where you'll find the motion matchup cards. So they're there. Ask me any questions. If you have something specific that you'd like for me to add, let me know. But hopefully soon I'll have the how to say guide, like how to say different motions. You can give that to your students. And the flashcards as well. So one more benefit of the cards that I wish I had when I was teaching, because I taught, would train the conduct team and the senior Parli Pro team at the same time. So, we did tests to wear blue in the face, but it would be nice, or it would have been nice, if I had these cards, because I could have sent the senior team out, like go and have something that's productive but also fun with these matchup cards, and then I could go spot check real easy, real quick to see if they got them right. While I was working with the conduct team, they could go and work with the cards, and then vice versa. Probably more fun for the middle school kids, but it'd be something different that you could mix into practices, especially if you've been practicing for a while.